Good evening, everyone. Phil here, and welcome to the Daily Wrap for what was Monday, the 17th of February, 2025. Let's talk about what went down today on streams. It was a good one, in my opinion. So, first off, on the Level 1 podcast today, we had a good chill time talking about various topics, nothing too serious to cover, but a topic emerged in the middle of the show that I very much appreciated kind of talking about, fleshing out, and having the time to discuss. And that topic, quite frankly, was moderation on my streams because I received a tip early on in the show. It was very critical. Someone telling me that I moderate too strongly on my streams, I don't allow enough free speech. And it's hilarious because I've been hearing nothing but the opposite recently. Most people saying, Phil, you don't have enough moderators. Don't moderate enough, and you allow trolls to kind of have free reign with these this sometimes doxing and troll accounts and things like that. So it's funny because I literally get completely conflicting information from people. And how am I supposed to ever improve when people have completely different opinions on exactly the same topics, right? So it's funny. So we talked about this for a while. We talked about moderation and things like that on the podcast. And then later on in the show, I'm not kidding you. I don't really want to spoil this. I want you to either watch the show or a highlight clip that I made. Later on in the show, something happened in the kick chat directly contradictory to the person who had tipped and said that I over moderate. And then the kick chat was mad at me because of it. And I was like, are you kidding me? So one person just said more moderation needed, or excuse me, less moderation needed. You're controlling too much. And now you guys on kick chat are yelling at me for not moderating. You can't make it up. If you want to see, I made a highlight clip. It's about maybe 10, 15 minutes long. That's the whole discussion of these things happening on the podcast today. It jumps around the podcast, but it's actually quite good. I hope you'll give it a look tonight. That's going to be going live overnight here on the channel. If you want to watch the whole Raw podcast, go right ahead. I feel like it was a good one. And then the first stream today was Call of Duty Black Ops 6 here on my PC setup. What did we do today? Well, I wanted to focus on unlocking attachments for the AMR Mod 4 sniper rifle, a lot of which unlock when you actually use the sniper rifle that's weaker than that one, the SVD. So I equipped the SVD and I started using it and was doing amazing. Like, no lie, I was kicking ass with this thing. People were like, so wait, Phil is actually good at Call of Duty? And I'm like, apparently I am on keyboard and mouse. And see, that's the thing. I've been playing Call of Duty on console now for over a decade, right? I was always the console player. I wasn't playing these games on keyboard and mouse. But now that I'm actually playing them on keyboard and mouse, I'm actually doing well. I'm getting kill streaks. I'm kicking ass. I'm sniping well. And people are like, holy shit, never knew. Yeah. If ever I just like kind of focused on it and had the right tools, I probably would have been doing good at these games all along. So I actually did pretty well. We had fun. Okay. But we didn't hit the goal at all. In fact, we hit just around halfway to our goal. And listen, I'm not freaking out about it. We're all good. We don't always have to hit the goal. Particularly with Call of Duty, it's confusing. And the reason I say that, it really is the definition of hit or miss. There are some Call of Duty streams that people come in and they're all excited and they get all pumped up and they're engaged and they're cheering and they're super chatting and they're tipping and everything, right? Today, not so much. Today, most support again came in during the podcast. I think the entirety I was playing Call of Duty, I made $15. So it's very weird. You just can't judge, right? You don't know when you're going to do well with certain games, and Call of Duty is definitely one of them, okay? But then the late stream, all right? Conclusion of Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. I didn't know how long it was actually going to take me to beat Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. I didn't know how much I really had left. So we actually hung out. I knew that it wasn't going to take the whole stream. We ended up hanging out for quite some time at the beginning of the stream, maybe like a half an hour before I even started. And then I started up the game and started playing, and we hit the goal. We had enough support from various different people. We actually hit and exceeded the goal tonight, which is very appreciated. So now we're at 17 of 20 goals hit, and I owe you guys a snack. But we ended up finishing the game around like 8:30, 8:45, so I had a much of extra time, and I said, I'll just hang out with you guys. So we did. We just hung out for like 45 minutes. Pretty much no contributions came in during that time, but it wasn't really about that. It was about just kind of hanging out and enjoying each other's company, and I felt it was a really pleasant hangout session. And so the day ended well. Ninja Gaiden Black 2 is done. So one playthrough done. The other playthrough we got to finish later this week is Onimusha Warlords. And then we are on to nonstop new release content for the rest of the week. Finally, serious new games to test out and see if they're any good. So I'm excited for this. Okay. So anyway, great stuff, right? Great stream, great support. Everything went well. I forgot to do the Turkish streak because I was going to do it tonight because we hit a goal. I owe you a treat whenever we hit a goal. Totally forgot about it. So I guess I'll do it tomorrow, probably in the tail end of the podcast. We'll hit, if we hit another goal, I'll do another one. But if not, we'll just do the treat at the end of the podcast and go from there. We'll pick another random one. Okay. So what is going on tomorrow? Well, first of all, we'll have a level 1 podcast discussing the end of Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. And I really didn't get to give my final thoughts on Night Rain. Maybe I'll do that on that show. If there's any game news to talk about, we'll do that. Okay, we'll cover all that tomorrow. And then it is the premiere of Avowed. A good amount of people have been interested to hear my thoughts on Avowed. Personally, I don't know. I haven't really spoiled myself on the game. I've kind of stayed away from a lot of information about it. So that way, when I play it, I'll have an honest first take shot. Because I hear a lot of people are crapping on it. And rather than do that, I'd like to play it for myself. It is a Game Pass game, so there is absolutely zero risk. If I play it tomorrow and I think it's utter dog shit, I never have to play it again. Or on the flip side, maybe I'll play it tomorrow and be pleasantly surprised and feel like everyone kind of over-exaggerated how bad it was. And then I'll actually have it as a playthrough. We'll see. So tomorrow, either way, it's going to be a very interesting stream. I hope you'll join me for the premiere of Avowed. And then tomorrow night on the late shift, it will be the Smart Guys Wrestling Commentary Show, broadcast on the @DSP Reacts channel on YouTube or on my normal kick channel, DSP Gaming Real. We're just going to be covering Monday Night Raw this week, so it may or may not be a shorter episode dependent on, how much we want to go into it or stuff like that. We had dabbled and talked about possibly we would watch NXT because there was an NXT like pay-per-view event on Saturday, but I didn't watch it. I just didn't get around to it this week, and I was like, I don't really want to try to watch Raw tonight and then cram in NXT at the same time too. So it's just going to cover Raw, just like last week just covered Raw, which is fine. Keep in mind, this is still the build-up to the Elimination Chamber, so we're going to see if it's any good tonight and go from there. It should be a fun show, and I hope you'll join us for that, as usual. And hopefully, what I'm hoping is we're at 17 goals out of 20. I'm hoping that we can hit a couple goals tomorrow, because my goal is to do DSP Tries It of the Shamrock Shake plus more from McDonald's by Thursday at the latest, because it would be perfect to fit into my schedule for everything, how things going with my wife working and cooking or whatever. It'd be perfect to do it either like Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. So we have like a crazy supportive stream tomorrow. We could do it tomorrow. If we have supportive streams over the course of tomorrow, maybe we'll do it Wednesday, or maybe we just, have enough that we'll get it done by Thursday. But any of those would work fine. Okay. So let's see how it goes and go from there. All right. And be sure to watch the highlight of me discussing this moderation topic that we talked about, chat moderation, during the podcast today. It'll go live probably around 12:30 tonight over on DSP Gaming as a highlight, a stream highlight. Okay? All right, everyone. That is it. I wish you the best. Thank you for chilling. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow for another awesome streaming day. Peace out and have a good night.